animals named after the Rothschilds.
Yep.
All right. You got wines that are named after the Rothschilds.
Yep.
So you're going to tell me that the Rothschilds is a welfare case? Hell no, man. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners. And who gonna gather them? Psalms 149 and what is that? 9 to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Now who's gonna do that? The Israelites.
This honor have all his saints.
This honor have what honor? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. What is that? Slavery.
That's right.
All right. And my man, I think, didn't he quote that in the movie? Yeah. No, he didn't. No.
Yeah, Psalms 149. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, he did quote it. Which we know where he got it from.
Yeah. Reading on, it says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit. They shall be gathered together after they're bound, as prisoners are gathered in the pit. And the pit means a literal pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, the same thing. And after many days shall they be visited. Visited for what? To grab them and to bring them into that first job you're talking about.
That's it.
To start burying them bodies.
That's it, man.
All right,
man,
it's all laid out. It's
gonna be some back-breaking work for your ass, man, to break you in real nice. You know, you like pushing pens or sitting behind. Sitting behind closed doors and giving orders of who to murder and who not to murder and what lands to take and what scandal to set up next. You're gonna be down there digging deep in them trenches, burying them decomposed bodies, man, getting all type of diseases from them decomposed bodies, man. That's gonna be your first job, man. Your first real job. Hey, man, you got a job. All right, back at
because the scriptures say they shall seek continual employment.
That's right.
Now you look up that word employment, even in the Black's Law Dictionary, it says slave. So the word employment means slave. So they're going into slavery.
Yeah,
you got it.
The brother GMS Nourishment Epistle said they're gonna know what a hard day's work really is.
After 800 years, almost 800 years.
Yeah. Back in Isaiah 34:3, it says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Now, this is in America, but that's going to be dead body in the, there. All right. You had something to say, Apostle Gabo?
The screen froze, so I refreshed it.
Okay.
All of a sudden now that the screen is
Oh yeah, because we get on the Rothschilds and them. They sending them signals. Oh, mine is out. Let me see.
Okay, now they got this.
Is it back on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you already know what it is, brothers. We ain't got to tell you. The stream is messing up because we're getting on these devils.
In the comment.
Oh, that
Decon Fogon. Oh man. All right, Isaiah. Isaiah 34.
Now you see that, brothers. I got to say this. You see that this thing is spiritual. As soon as we start really getting on these devils, laying out their future according to the scriptures, all this started happening. That shows you that this thing of ours is spiritual, man. Mystical, as James White would say.
No, not yet. All right. The roach watching. Isaiah 34:4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. That's talking about their power structure, and their pretty much their power structure is going to be dissolved. Why? Because the Most High is going to destroy them. See, this is their heaven. This kingdom right here, America, this is their heaven. Just like when the Lord established his kingdom, Yahweh Shai's kingdom, and we being joint heirs with him, our kingdom is going to be on the earth. And that's going to be our power, our rule, our heaven. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And that's dealing with your mushroom clouds. They look like a scroll when it's rolling together. If you look up pictures of a nuclear blast, you'll see it looks like they call it a mushroom cloud. And if you look at it closely, it looks like it's something like a scroll being rolled together. And that's why the prophet Isaiah, when he saw that, those are the best words he could use to describe it in his time. Was the heavens being rolled together as a scroll, right? It says and all their hosts shall fall down, meaning all their armies, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. So when the fig is ripe, or there's a strong wind, it shakes the tree, the leaves and the fruit fall off of it. You know, so that's how this devil's gonna fall. So the Most High is gonna shake this place, like it says in Isaiah 24. There's gonna be a great shaking. The earth is gonna rock real to and fro like a drunkard.
Haggai 2:6. Yet once more I rise up to shake the earth.
That's right.
Yahweh said that.
That's right. It says now here we get into the real juicy part now. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, right? Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment, because you Edomites, you so-called white people, you like to shed blood. You love it. You are fascinated with that.
The people of his curse mean they got that they've been stripped of their pigment. That curse goes back to Cain. And even Cain said, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So that's a hell of a curse. You know, Cain said that. You got it.
You know, and it, like I said, it says it's from, since you like to shed blood, your blood is going to be shed. And that's that's the beginning of your blood being shed. You know, is your downfall. And then after that, your blood is literally going to be shed by us, by the children of Israel, when the Lord give us that power. Because the Lord, one of the promises the Lord gave us, he said that there's going to be a two-edged sword in our hand, you know, to execute judgment upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. And this guy, Nate Parker, he quoted that scripture in that movie. And I've never heard any other people out there, any other religion out there quoting that scripture outside of the Hebrew Israelites. You know, so he has been watching. You know, he was taking notes. He probably wanted to bring out more information.
Yeah, whether he's watching us or whether he's watching IUIC or ISUPK or GOCC, but if he watched one, he had to watch. Like I said, there's a lot of people in the entertainment world, the sports world that watch us, but they're not going to come out and say that they support us, because if you do that, you're gonna lose your career. You're gonna get blacklisted. Anyway, I want to say this here. I'll read this one scripture. It says Genesis 26 verse 34. Right? Let me turn this down. Because we found out that this guy had a interview on the Breakfast Club, Nate Parker, and basically he was talking about the people that backed him, and they were mostly like Edomites, but Jake didn't back him, period, man. Spike Lee didn't back him. What's my dear Tyler Perry, none of the rappers, you know, because Jake doesn't want to get caught up. That's the real reason why they did that, because they were like, wait a minute, then I'm going to lose my career. So he took a chance, but then he pushed that Hamitic bullshit, which he was going off on that. Anyway, it says Genesis 26:34, and I don't know if you have your red book to go to the precept, and this is Esau, right? This is Isaac and Rebekah told Esau not to marry among the Canaanite people, right? So this is what he ultimately did. It says, and Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite. So you had Canaanites with Hebrew names because they spoke Hebrew. It says, if you got the precept that says Isaac and Rebekah told him not to do that, he went ahead and did it anyway. You can bring it on out. It says, and Beshemath, which is Hebrew, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. It says, which were a grief of the mind unto Isaac and Rebekah. Now the precept